Are you having trouble while you are determining the market's way? Do you feel indecisive whether you should close your position or keep it holding? Would you like to know when the up or down trend is about to end? If your answer is yes, then in this video you are gonna learn how professional traders decide the short or long the market that day, and what indicators do they use while they are looking for answers to the questions I mentioned here. Hello my friend, today I'm gonna show you what indicators professional traders use while they are taking critical decisions about the market and their trades. Our first indicator is divergence for many indicators by Lansome Blue. This indicator actually shows all the divergences that might be detected by RSI, MACD, Stoch RSI, histograms, and many others. So how we can make use of this indicator? I strongly advise you to use this indicator on high time frames in order not to take long or short positions. Instead, it is perfect and very useful indicator to determine the market's possible way and prevent you to taking wrong positions during your day trading or scalping sessions. Let's take a look at the last signal created by the indicator. The indicator created the signal on February 18th. Here as you see, the indicator shows us there are 6 different divergences occurred in the market, and most probably the market will react one or some of them. So this day or in the following days or maybe this week, it's not a good idea to take long positions while you are executing your day trading or scalping trades. The market at least this week seems short biased, so if you avoid taking long positions or if you overlook the long signals and only take positions when short signals occur, imagine how your success rate will increase during your trades. Before I learned the value of this indicator and how to use it properly, I was executing successful trades, but in most days I almost always giving my hard-gained profits back to the market. As you know, it's impossible to trade with 100% success rate, and some days I was giving all my profits back even the day might end with a complete loss. But after learning how to use this indicator, my success rate increased incredibly. Of course, I kept losing some of my trades. I didn't expect this indicator bring my success rate to 100% after all. But by avoiding taking many losing trades, I increased my success rate, so my profit rate increased considerably. The only thing you should do is when the market shows some divergence conditions, you will avoid taking positions the current way and just ignore the most probably the fake signals that market is created. By using this indicator, you may also decide to take your profit while you are holding your mid-term or long-term positions. In my opinion, this indicator creates best signals on 2 days time frame, but you may also prefer to use it on daily or weekly time frame as well. My second indicator today, also the one I mostly combine with the divergence indicator, is WaveTrend with crosses indicator by Lazy Bear. While I'm using any indicator, I strictly clarify the time frame that I'm gonna use it, and I prefer not to use it in other time frames. Cause as you know, indicators might easily mislead you by creating wrong signals, and checking them on wide range of time frames causes you to confuse really much and might push to make mistakes while you are giving your decisions. But when it comes to WaveTrend with crosses indicator, it really works well on almost all time frames. But I must remind that with this indicator, you should ignore the signal that is created between the extreme buy or sell areas, and only take into consideration when the signal is created over the extreme levels. This indicator performs really well even you are checking on lower time frames like 15 minutes. Of course, you should always take the point into consideration that the more you decrease the time frame, the more almost all indicators give fake signals. WaveTrend with cross indicator works well even in lower time frames, but this doesn't mean that it keeps working perfect even you decrease the time frame you look at. So you should be more careful while using this on lower time frames. I mostly use WaveTrend with crosses indicator during my day trading and scalping trades. Also, I use it to determine my take profit points and check this indicator when I'm indecisive about keep holding the position or not, by checking it on high time frames. For instance, if I'm in a long position and don't want to close it even I realize the correction on the market is about to happen, I check the wave trend on higher time frames, and if I see a signal over the extreme points, I decide to close my position and try to buy it back from a lower price. This indicator mostly prevents me to lose my hardly gained profits, or sometimes that position might turn to a complete loss if I wouldn't close it with signal. Actually, like many indicators, this indicator might create fake signals for sure, but it works with a such high success rate that I barely feel regretful after taking its signals into consideration. Our next indicator is Nadaraya Watson envelope from Lux Algo. This indicator is also preferred by professional traders. I personally use Nadaraya Watson to determine my taking profit areas or to decide whether to close my long or short positions or not. As I mentioned before, I don't use these indicators as signals to execute a position. They are much valuable than being a signal indicator. I use these indicators in order to evaluate the market's turning points, so I do not take a long position when the price hits the upper line, or I do not execute a short position when the price hits the bottom line. In this way, I'm able to avoid taking the positions that will stop me out and cause me to lose money or give the profit back that I earned from my successful trade. Nadaraya Watson is more successful on higher time frames, and in my opinion, it works best on 12 hours and 8 hours time frame, so I prefer to use Nadaraya Watson mostly on those time frames. Our next indicator is Find Market Bottoms by Chris Moody. As you might understand from its name, this indicator helps us to determine the dips of the market. Like all the indicators that gives clues about the big trends turning points, this indicator is also successful on higher time frames like weekly and one-day time frame. You might not need this indicator very often, but whenever you ask yourself or look for the answer for the most important question, when the market will end its bull or bear circle, this indicator will give you very valuable clues about the time is close or not. I used this indicator a short time ago in order to understand Bitcoin's bear market season was about to end. In order to read this indicator correctly, we check the long green bars, and this shows us that the season that we are in is not over yet, or not giving any signals that will gonna end in short period. But when green bars ends and the gray bars show up, this is a good sign, but still not the best time to start buying. And finally, when the small gray bars show up, that means our boring bear season is ending now or very soon. I personally combine this indicator with my favorite moving average, Kaufman Moving Average. When the pump on Bitcoin started, I checked the Find the Bottoms indicator on weekly chart and waited it to be broken on daily time frame. After the break occurred, I started buying Bitcoin, and by the help of other indicators I mentioned in this video, I was able to hold my long position for weeks and made a great profit from the last pump of Bitcoin. Now that I'm making a pro indicators video, I cannot keep my and most professional traders' favorite indicator out of the topic. Kaufman Moving Average is definitely the compass of the market in my opinion. On daily basis, you can use it as a compass that shows you whether you are in a bull market or a bear market. If the price is over Kaufman Moving Average, professional traders consider this as we are in a bull market. If the price is below the Kaufman, then they consider vice versa. Kaufman Moving Average works really well in almost all time frames. Especially on 2 hours time frame, if the price is above the Kaufman, you can evaluate the market with a long bias on that specific day. Or the price is below the Kaufman on 2 hours time frame, you better avoid taking long positions on that day. Like every moving average, Kaufman may give you fake signals about the price during range periods. So if the market cannot create swings, we should ignore the signals of every kind of moving average. You may remember I uploaded a video about how I hold my Bitcoin position with zero stress during the last pump of Bitcoin by using Kaufman Moving Average and Supertrend. Yes, with only these indicators, I was able to hold my Bitcoin position from around 17k to 23k. As you see here on the chart, the price started to rise on both Kaufman and Supertrend and never closed below these indicators. So I kept holding my position until to the top of the market, by carrying my stop loss below the Supertrend and didn't stop out until 23k. For the short-term positions for day trade, you might also use the 2 hours time frame, and if the price doesn't break both Kaufman and Supertrend and doesn't stay under the Supertrend for one more 2 hours, that means you can keep holding your position and no need to close it. As I mentioned before, Kaufman might be used in all time frames, so you can use it as an indicator for your scalping strategies, or you may add it to your own strategy. I will keep sharing different scalping strategies that includes Kaufman very soon. I tried to explain how to use them, when to use them best, I mean in which time frame. Please consider these indicators as not a buying signal but shows the market's bias, and this is also much more important than fake signals. And these kind of indicators that I mentioned in this video will help you to determine market's bias and turning points. Thanks for watching till the end, I appreciate it.